Like the wagon said to the wheel, let's roll. All right, well, Louisville played Clemson last week. AC and I both attended the game. I tell you what, great weather, nice fans.
Great fans.
Great fans. Yeah, they were great fans. Really friendly people. So Clemson, props, thumbs up to you guys. Our seats were not so good. Cool tradition with Howard's Rock and the team running down the field, letting all those balloons go. It's not really environmentally friendly, but I guess that's all right. It's all part of their tradition.
If you ever have a chance to go down to Clemson and you didn't go this time, go next time because it is an experience.
It is, and you're going to be welcomed with open arms. Those people are super friendly. So we had a really good time. I mean, everything was great except that Louisville lost, a game that they really should have won. I'm really surprised that we did not win that game. We had every opportunity to win the game. We fumbled on our goal line again. It cost us a touchdown. And then we just didn't do a very good job of coverage on that first punt. And after that, they covered punts fantastic. So not sure where the breakdown was, but it happens, and well.
I can tell you where the breakdowns were.
Okay,
we'll get to that soon.
So anyway, but we've held our opposing teams to 17 straight scoreless quarters without a touchdown. The only other team to do that was that Super Alabama team a few years ago that shut out LSU in the national championship game. So they were 2 of 16 on third downs. Of course, we were 1 of 17 on third downs. So we converted one third down conversion, which was awful. We had a couple more picks. They only had 72 rush yards. They had 157 pass yards. They did most of that without Deshaun Watson, who broke one of his fingers early in the game. I'm not even sure on what play it happened, but knocked him out of the game, and Cliff Stout ended up filling in with him. So Reggie started the game. He really struggled. You could tell that he was having trouble checking in and out of the right plays, and
he just didn't see the field good. He was standing on receivers. He was anxious to get out of the pocket. It really showed him being a freshman.
And he was 5 of 13, which those stats just aren't going to get it done. Will Gardner came in and started the second half, and I really thought provided a great spark, and that really kind of turned things around. I thought Louisville's offense just looked like it was clicking a little bit better. We still weren't scoring, and we had both teams combined 22 punts. I don't think I've ever been to a game where there's been 22 punts, not even watching a game on TV. 22 punts.
Our punter really kicked well. Those balls were, they were awesome. High punts. We got a coverage down there, except for the first.
Yeah, except for the first one. He averaged about 44 yards a punt, and that's great. I'm sure he's a little bit sore. I guess if kickers can be sore, he was probably sore. Dominique led the backs with 47 yards and 1 touchdown. We had 7 receivers catch balls. James Quick did a nice job again. He had 6 catches for 101 yards and no touchdowns.
Nope, not this
Had
week.
he had 1 touchdown, which was the one at the end of the game, Louisville would have pulled that one out. So he was 8 yards short of getting that one done, but it happens. We move on.
Yeah.
So anyway, our general team update, will Devontae return? Huge question. I know last week we talked about it, AC. We thought that he would be back for the Clemson game. He wasn't. It was a surprise to everybody except for Petrino, and those guys knew that he wasn't going to play as of Thursday.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not in the know, so.
Well, my heart kind of dropped a little bit when I saw him down there in street clothes. I said, well, I was expecting, to see Spider-Man this week, but hopefully next week. And then if we don't, I doubt if we see him this week, so he can get that extra week. We got a weekend off, and then we play Florida State. So, I doubt if we see him this week.
I'm with you. I don't think he plays against NC State either. I'm not sure how formidable of an opponent that's going to be. So, and also Corbin Lamb tore his ACL, so he's out the rest of the year. That guy's just had bad luck, and he's a super running back. But I feel bad for Corbin, but we'll, we're deep at running back. Fortunately, and I think that injury Michael Dyer has is still keeping him out of the lineup as well. So now we'll move on to our Dice Player of the Week. Lucky number 7 for us and some of you guys. And my Dice Player of the Week on offense is Will Gardner. I thought Will did a great job when he came in the second half. He just really seemed to have better command and control of the offense. He seemed to know how to get us in the right plays. Yeah. And I think it was like night and day watching Reggie struggle through most of the first half and then watch Will come in the second half. Will's definitely at this point in time the better pick for starter.
You know what Will did really well, JP. He sat in the pocket and he actually threw the ball well. He threw tight spirals and he threw the ball with some zip on it. He's kind of struggled with that before when he didn't want to actually command the pocket. So he commanded that pocket, and it looked like he made great decisions and hitting receivers in stride, and that was one of the best things to see going forward in the future. Mm-hmm. That Will is able to lead us, and you could tell by the game that Reggie was in over his head. He threw some poor balls. He just didn't look comfortable. So you could tell who had just a year more experience, college football experience. So, I think from here on out, Will be the guy.
What's your offensive Dice Player of the Week?
Well, of course, receivers. James Quick, 6 balls. He dropped a few, took his eyes off. I think from time to time, James moves a little too quick. Mm-hmm. He's already fast, but he tries to be quick. And I think, again, he needs to slow down, focus on that ball, catch it, because he's got the speed. I mean, he didn't, he's playing Division I football. He's playing Clemson. They have players who can actually run. So, he was a 100-meter champ here in high school. Clemson's got 4 or 5 of those guys. So, I know he took the blame for, not making the right moves at the end, but, you can't blame that guy for that. No. He did his job. He got us down there, and, we should have put that ball in the end zone.
Yep. Defensive Dice Player of the Week, I'm going to go with James Sample. James had another pick. He's really been a good player, a surprise player as a transfer this year. So he's my Defensive Dice Player of the Week.
Well, my defensive guy, of course, is the defensive coordinator, Grantham, and the entire defense. I mean, I was sitting pretty close, and I got to see these guys, and, they put in some work. And, I thought during the end of the game they got a little tired and they got a little banged up because they were actually hitting. I mean, they were putting it on Clemson. So the defense as a whole, they're doing that.
Well, week in and week out, they are showing up. Up. So a lot of credit to the defense, and they have absolutely carried us this year. If the offense would just get going, there's no way we wouldn't be undefeated at this point. And we are down 2 games, no big deal. Still got a long way to go in the season. All right,
we're 2 fumbles away from being undefeated.
It's true.
2 fumbles in the end zone away from being undefeated. So, offense, if we could correct the errors, man, we still be undefeated right now.
So we'll move on. Your segment, my friend, wide receiver talk.
Oh, man, we've got a bunch of wide receivers. We got James Quick, Eli Rogers. They were the only. Well, Eli Rogers caught 1 ball for the touchdown, but Gerald Christian, he caught 4 balls. Quick caught 6. Everybody else had 1 reception. JP, and we had a few of those guys open. First half, we had some guys open. Reggie couldn't find them. But as a whole, receivers stood up. I'll give them probably a B- for this game. But we got to get more balls to those guys. We got 12 balls to the receivers last week. We got 15 this week. So, we're moving up, but we need to get rolling. And hopefully NC State coming in here is a great chance for us to get this offense. We're at home. We should be comfortable. We should fix some of those things that were ailing us. But we got to get Christian that ball more. Mm-hmm. That's just my guy. Eli Rogers, he's going to show up. I would have liked to seen us throw the ball instead of spiking the ball at the end. I'd have liked to see us throw it up to Milton on the outside. He's the tallest guy on the field. I think we should have did that, and I think we could have had a much better play to end the game. I really do.
I would have rather had 2 chances to get it in the end zone first. Yeah. Basically a one and done. You spiked the ball on 3rd down and it's 4th down. You only got 1 more shot at it. There was 25 seconds left on the clock. Yeah. That's plenty of time to run 2 plays. Mm-hmm. More than likely, we're going to be passing the ball. So, if it's incomplete, the clock stops. You still got more time to run another play. So, oh well. We're not the coach.
Yeah. But again,
we're just fans.
Speaking of the coach, that's one of the few times I've seen Bobby Petrino not prepared. That's he prepares great. He's a good offensive coach. He's a great offensive coach, but he was not prepared. And I've not seen that in the past.
No, not normally. Not normally. So, all right, now let's move on to our crapped out team of the week. Another segment I really like. I'm going to go this week. For some reason, I'm staying on the West Coast. I think Arizona. They had a big win the week before over Oregon, and then they bounce at home and lose to USC. USC's not a bad team,
Right.
but Arizona's at home. You know, come on, guys. I mean, they jumped up to number 10 in the rankings and then fell flat on their face. So, Arizona, you're my crapped out team of the week.
They crapped out, but they got a good offense. I'm going to go with Missouri. Missouri's my crapped out team of the week. They get Georgia down there in Missouri. No Gurley. And they couldn't do nothing with them. They're at home. They have an experienced quarterback, experienced receivers, and they don't score a point at home. So, Missouri, you're my crapped out team.
I agree with AC, too. Missouri, 34-0, 31-0, something. It was bad.
Right.
All right, our Paradise picks of the week. This week I was 1-1. AC's, my buddy fell under 500, but still got a long way to go. So, got some tough ones here, buddy. Notre Dame, ACC matchup, marquee game this week. Notre Dame's going to travel to Florida State. You got number 5 versus number 2. Florida State's favored by 12.5. I totally disapprove of the way Florida State's handling this Jameis Winston thing. I know we're going to try not to be too controversial on this show, but, I mean, 2,000 autographs surfaced for this guy. I have no idea what's going on down there. You know, you got some autographs in Gurley, and they sit him. They suspend him.
Take him out of there.
I possibly see some forfeited games in Florida State's future because I don't think this guy's completely clean.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about that. So Notre Dame, FSU. FSU, 12.5-point favorite at home. I, for some reason, am not sold on Notre Dame. And I've been picking a lot of underdogs, but I think Florida State is going to win, and I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to whip Notre Dame.
Well, NC State stayed with Notre Dame. Stayed with Florida State for the first half. So I'm gonna also go with Florida State simply because they have a good defense.
They do.
And Notre Dame's on the road. I'm gonna go with you with Florida State, but I won't give you points.
All right. And then the next matchup, Oklahoma State, the number 15 team in the nation, is going to travel to Fort Worth to play TCU. TCU had a tough loss to Baylor last week. They combined for like 119 points. It was just crazy. 61-58 or something like that was the score. So, but TCU had them down, I think 24, 27 points in the fourth quarter and lost. So TCU's favored by 10 in this game. And I have not really seen Oklahoma State play. I think they might have lost one game right now. They are playing good. I love Mike Gundy. I think he's a great coach. And I think Oklahoma State will stay within 10 of TCU. So I'll take Oklahoma State in the points in that game.
Well, Oklahoma State hadn't had a breakout win. I think everybody's watching this weekend. I think Oklahoma State gets it done.
Straight up.
Yeah, TCU's just, they're kind of floundering a little bit. And how they respond from last weekend, but you got a good team coming in, and I believe Oklahoma State's going to be there.
Yeah, okay, that's probably good. That's a painful loss for TCU. It'll show a lot about their character, that team's character, how they respond this week. All right, let's go on to our easy button games here. Excuse me. We got Kansas State at Oklahoma. I think it's going to be a tough matchup, but I like Oklahoma.
Well, Kansas State, I've seen them play a couple times. When they get it going, they can go. But, Oklahoma, I think they're pretty mad because they've underperformed thus far. So they're going to take it out on Kansas State. So I'm picking Oklahoma.
All right. And then Texas A&M and Alabama. A&M's got to go to Alabama. A&M has taken it on the chin the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
This, I think, is going to be a close game, actually.
They playing at Alabama?
They're playing at Alabama, and I'm going to take Alabama only because they're playing at home, but I think it's going to be close.
I try. We usually try not to agree, but, I think we're going to agree on this. I mean, Mr. Hill at quarterback, he's looking like a freshman. So, Alabama, they're hearing all the talk about
they're
is
not
the
that
dynasty
good.
over?
Yeah, you guys are finished.
Is it the coaching? They got a new offensive coordinator, but they're putting up some points. But I think they're going to be pretty pissed off coming in this weekend. So, Alabama, you get my vote.
All right. In the last game, because I do like the Ducks, we're going to go with Washington at Oregon. Too easy. I'm going with the Ducks. Big, UW, goodbye. Oregon rolls them.
I think every time I pick Oregon, I lose. So I'm going to try it one more time, Oregon. Ducks, do me wine.
Don't let him down.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on to this game here we got coming up this weekend. Louisville's got homecoming, got NC State, so the Wolfpack are going to travel into Louisville. They got a 4-3 record. They have not won a game in the ACC this year. They will not win Saturday either. Evidently, those guys like BB guns, and I guess they're shooting people, so 7 of their cats are suspended for that.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, bang, bang. They got a nice quarterback. Jacoby Brissett is a really good quarterback. Kid's a junior. He's from West Palm Beach, Florida, who's really taking care of the ball. He's thrown 14 picks, or 14 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. So Jacoby Brissett's a really good quarterback. But unfortunately, Louisville's defense is really clicking right now. And I kind of feel a little bit sorry for NC State. Our defense is playing so well. They got shut out at Clemson a couple of weeks ago. They very well could get shut out again here Saturday. Louisville's defense is trying to keep the opposing team from even crossing midfield to stay off the Cardinal bird. I think they might get across midfield maybe a couple times. And I don't think they get in the end zone. I think maybe they kick a couple of field goals. And I think Louisville's offense gets going a little bit more just because I think we might have an interception or a couple of turnovers. And I'm going to go with Louisville to win 34-6.
Okay. Well, this game is all about Louisville. I don't care who it was coming in after what happened at Clemson. This is about Louisville and getting back on track. Offense, I think defense has something to prove. I do think they give up their first touchdown in 17 quarters on Saturday. I'm going to say Louisville beats NC State 38-7.
38-7. All right, so we'll see how we do on those picks. And I don't think we're going to have a Granny the Greek pick of the week this week. Granny's a little under the weather, so we'll try to bring her back on the next show. But that's all we got for this week. Tune in, follow us on Facebook, send us emails if you've got any questions. I'm JP.
And I'm AC.
This is Cardinal Pairadice, and that's how we roll. All right, folks. This week, instead of Granny the Greek pick of the week, Cardinal Pairadice has brought in a special guest picker. This is Slick Nick. He's going to pick a couple games this week. AC, take it away, bud.
All right, Nick. We got 2 games we want you to pick from today. We got Michigan State's playing Indiana this weekend. What's your pick?
Michigan State.
Michigan State, the Spartans. Let's go Sparty. And one closer to home, we got Mel against Trinity this weekend. Give me a pick on that game.
Male Bulldogs.
Say it again.
Male Bulldogs.
Say go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
There you go. There you go. Nick, appreciate it. Folks, we'll see you next week.
All right.